Good morning, busy bees. How are you? Welcome to the third segment of the social media training. I'm not going to lie. Being the third person of the week to do the social media training is a little intimidating. Susan and Michelle, you guys did such a great job teaching everybody and showing them how to be effective with your social media. A lot of the content I wrote, you guys covered, which is fantastic. It just goes to show that we're on the same page. So what I want to do is just also share with you guys what I'm doing on social media and how I've evolved in my business. So at first in social media, I was a social media vomiter. That's what I'm going to call. So I'm going to say, I suddenly went from a person on Facebook, a person on Instagram, and a person on Twitter to a Juice Plus everything all over my social media. And it was 0% effective. Hi, Janice. Thanks for tuning in. You're my only viewer right now. Sorry, I get really excited. So what I had to do is I actually started to interview people and ask them, what do you think of my social media page? What do you think of my posts? And a lot of people were like, well, Sarah, you're just kind of like, it's not Sarah anymore. It's not authentic. And I know Susan Baker covered that. And it is really important to find your identity, right? So we were tasked with doing the hashtags. You have to find, like, what's your brand? That brand must be you. You must be able to relate to that brand. Okay, and what I do to plan my social media is around my brand, and I also plan it around events that are coming up, as well as what's happening in the world, right? So February is Heart Month, and January was Mental Health. So I focus a lot of my social media based on what the world is already aware of, okay? Now, when you're working on your social media, you want to be bold, but be aware, okay? And what I mean by that is, Michelle said this, and I say this all the time as well. Feel the fear and do it anyways, okay? But plan out your social media and your content. Now, be bold, but be aware of what it is that you're saying and what it is that you're expecting back from your social media. I also want to say what I do is I start with analytics, and then I work on strategies. So what I've done is I've gone back and I evaluate my social media. I had to do that when I had to change my mindset. I evaluated my social media, my successes, to see who was liking my posts, who was sharing my posts, what times were people liking my posts, and the highest activities. Okay? And now what I use to analyze my social media is I use a program called Hootsuite. Hootsuite. I am not a social media guru. I am just an average person, but I educated myself on how to become the best at social media. I listened to the Social Media Happy Hour podcast. I did some online trainings for Hootsuite. Now, Hootsuite is offering me the analytics side, so I can see who's retweeting, who's reposting, who's sharing, who's doing this. So I know what to keep, add, or change in my social media. And then that's where I build my strategies from there, okay? So just do your analytics and then build your strategy. I also want people, at first I was afraid because I'm not a nutritionist. I thought, well, what value do I have on social media? Are people going to believe me? And then when I started to take that out of my vocabulary and I started looking at, you don't need a title to make an impact. You just need to share. That's all you have to do. But share from your heart. And Susan covered this as well. I can, sometimes people have a really great post and I see a lot of them are repeated on social media. Try to customize the verbiage so it relates to you, but also think about how are you trying to relate to your audience? What is the message that you're trying to get across? Are you trying to come across as an advertisement? Or are you trying to come across as a genuine person offering health and wellness advice? Okay, so when I started thinking, well, I'm not a nutritionist, but I still bring value because the products do so much for me, my social media changed. I changed my verbiage to relate more to me, and then that's when my social media really started to grow. The key to social media is being social. So I was guilty as charged at first. I just, I was posting all sorts of Juice Plus stuff. Juice Plus is amazing. These berries are fantastic, blah, blah, blah. And they're great. But I was just like an advertisement. I wasn't being social. So keep social media social. ask people questions. Ask your audience questions. I always, or not always, I'd say about 75% of the time in my posts, I always say, please send me a personal message if something resonated with you. Or if there's something that you see that are interested, please like my post, comment, or do whatever. I'm asking for people's opinions. I'll often also say, feel free to share. So then I have a lot of people taking my post and just sharing it on their page. So it's creating that being social. Someone likes my page, or someone likes my post, someone comments on my post, I go back and I like their like, or I like their comment and I comment on it, or I'll send them a personal message saying, thank you so much for commenting on my post. I just want you to know how much that means to me, because it is something I firmly believe in. And then that person is more engaged and I see them interacting more and more. Be engaging in your content. So I'm going to leave you guys with a few keys. So be engaging in your content. Sandy Veilleux at our regional I think it was last May, she said, don't be an ask hole. A-S-K-H-O-L-E. Don't be an ask hole, right? Don't constantly go to your upline and ask questions, right? So with social media, don't be a duplicate hole, okay? Create personalized content. You're not a walking billboard. You're not an advertisement. You're here to simply share, grow, and inspire others. Okay, so let's just keep it simple. Oh, that was my next point. Keep it simple. Okay, long posts. To be honest, I don't read a lot of long posts. If I have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, do a live video. If you find that you're posting something and it's more than a paragraph, do a live video of your post, because that, I promise you, will be more effective than write an entire novel. Because to be honest, guys, some people, I don't even read the whole thing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to like it, but I don't even read it. So you're not giving value, and you're not being social, and you're not being inclusive and engaging. Okay, so just try to modify how you're doing things. When I post stuff about Tower Gardens, yes, I'll do a list like check off this. That's in my smoothies, right? That's something a little different. But what I'm talking about is if it's just words over and over and over again, right? It's not a storyboard. There's blogs for that. Create a blog, put your story there. Be unique in your posts. I put a Sarah-ism in my posts. I beat to my own drum. Is that the saying? I don't know. I've cut out caffeine now for so long, I'm not sure if that's the right saying. But I put my own spin on things, my own Sarah-ism. And when I've started to do that, people are relating to me because people like me. My friends are engaging now in my business because they're like, oh, you're hilarious. Like when I did my post about my baby hairs growing like crazy, that was me. And that was me talking about the Juice Plus product, but not even saying Juice Plus. So you really want to be unique and offer yourself in your posts. Be genuine. Be consistent. I learned this yesterday. I was at a conference for the government, and somebody said, I don't have time is the adult's excuse for the dog ate my homework. And I was just like, wow, this is a very senior member in the government of Canada calling us out on our baloney. And I was like, okay, that's kind of right. I don't have time is the adult version of the dog ate my homework. So what I do for being consistent is I use Hootsuite. I guarantee you that everybody out there, when you're on the toilet, at least once you've scrolled through Facebook, haven't you? Yeah, probably. Well, I have. Every morning I get up, I go to the bathroom, and that's where I check my social media. So now what I do is I use that time, and that's where I create my posts for the day in Hootsuite. I pre-program certain posts to go, and they're sent out into the universe of the social media world, and I don't have to worry about it, but I'm being consistent. What's going to happen is if you withdraw from your social media for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and then all of a sudden you're spewing all this stuff again, people are going to unfollow you. It's very easy they won't unfriend you, but they can unfollow you. And then that's when you'll see that your traction's going down. So you want to interact with your network and maintain your network. So I've mentioned this before. So someone likes your post, someone comments on your post, interact with them. Sometimes I send people, like I said, a personal message when I say, Thank you so much for making that comment on my post. You have no idea how much that means to me. Because I genuinely, like when I did my live video last night and people commented, I went back to the people who shared, I went back to the people who commented, and I said, thank you very much. This means so much to me. Would you share some information about my upcoming event? Because it helped me so much, this product. And if you can just share it, that would just mean so much to me. And I mail them a free smoothie sample. That's what I do. So I give them something back. So I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I'm just going to reiterate my notes. Be bold, but be aware. Okay, so when you're doing your live videos, prepare, have your face, your background clean, you have your notes. I work with cue cards. Lauren Slocum got me on the cue cards, or no, somebody at Phoenix got me on I can't live without my cue cards. So that you're aware, you're being bold, and you're consistent. Again, you don't need a title to make an impact. You just need to share. That's it. Own your brand, walk the talk, and be your brand. When I do the Shred 10, there's no 80-20. I am 100% because that's my brand. Again, start with analytics and then work on your strategies. So everybody, go to Hootsuite. They offer tutorials. I also use TweetDeck. They offer tutorials. So this way, my Twitter feed isn't filled with all these people. I can go and follow a certain hashtag around the world. I can follow a certain healthy living event around the world. So use TweetDeck. But I didn't know, I'm not a social media guru, but I listen to the Social Media Happy Hour podcast. I go on YouTube and it's in my DMO to learn something new about social media every single day. The key to social media is being social, be engaging in your content, be consistent, be unique, and interact and maintain your network. Thank you very much, everybody. Have an amazing Friday. And if you have any questions, please refer to the Team B YouTube site. I know that we did do a Hootsuite training last week. There's Facebook. There's all sorts of social media training. Nikki, Nicole, Melissa, they've done so much for us, guys. Go back and look at those videos on YouTube, on the Team B site, on everywhere. Just go and educate yourself on social media. So have an amazing day. And I challenge you guys, next time you're on the toilet, try to pre-post or do up your social media for at least the next hour or 2 hours. Go into Hootsuite. Utilize that time, right? Every minute counts in the business. Those are the stolen moments. Have a great day. Love you guys. Keep up the good work.